Good morning. My name is Hae-sun Kim, advisor of Gangnam Labor Law Firm. Today we are going to discuss with the labor attorney Jung Bong-soo about the compliance management certification that was inquired by one of the clients of Gangnam Labor Law Firm. So could you explain about what was the exact inquiry from the client?
Hello, how are you today? This is Bong-soo Jung, Korean labor attorney. Today, I'd like to introduce compliance management certification. So this is requested by one of my corporate clients. So they need to confirm whether this company follow the legal requirement for employment. So as a labor attorney, we can provide what company should equip or prepare, also follow by the legal requirement regarding labor law. So this labor law form provide some self checklist to prepare for labor auditing. So there are 16 chapters, so company can check the compliance issue regarding labor law. So this labor law form, you can see there are 16 chapters that they can see. So our labor law form provide the auditing system for checking whether they follow the labor law or not in their workplace. So this is a 12 hours project to provide this service.
So can you explain briefly what are the 16 checklists of this labor inspection?
Based on the labor law requirement, every company must equip or prepare those documents, or they implement what is required by the Labor Standard Act. There are 16 area they must prepare. So I want to introduce one by one briefly. So first one here. So when you move to the next page, there are 16 pages you can find. So like this one is one example about those 16 the different chapters. So based on companies the compliance, they can check compliant or incomplete or non-compliant. So when they check for each different questions, then the company get the result. So what are 16 areas that they can prepare? Okay, first one is a written statement of working condition. This is every company, they have to prepare individual employment contract with their each employee. So then also we review this employment contract contain legally required items like wage, contractual working hours, or annual leave, or other like working condition, how to pay or how to calculate, also what is the payday for wage. Those items should be included in the employment contract. Second one is preservation of employment registers. So that means every company must prepare, must keep those workers' document even though they resigned. So for even within 3 years, they are legally required to issue some legal document for those resigned workers. So whether we will check whether company maintained such a document in their workplace. The third one is payment of wage. So whether company pay their wage without deduction. Also they pay in Korean won. Also they pay on designated day. These are requirement for the wage. So some company they deduct the wage illegally without obtaining the workers' consent. So that is illegal the deduction. So we'll check that. The first one is we'll check some working hours and overtime. So overtime limit is 12 hours exceeding the 40 working hours. So we'll check whether company follow this requirement. Also, next one is recess hours. Some company, they provide long recess hours, so it is confusing to compare between waiting time and recess hours. So we review those questions very carefully. And also paid holidays. What is paid holidays? Like weekly, the paid holiday, also some government public holidays. So these days are paid holidays. So we'll check whether company provide those days with a payment, or if they work on such a holiday, then they must give some extra overtime or the time off in the other days. Yeah. Also, next one is annual paid leave. So this is their basic requirement to using the annual paid leave. So regarding annual paid leave, there are a lot of questions about something, whether they have a special system to promote the use of annual leave, or they are some substitution of the working day with this paid leave. Then employee can take a day off by using the annual leave collectively. So those system, whether they use it based on mutual agreement, so it's very important. Yes, in this process they must have employee representative. Like employee representative means employee who represent majority of workers. So this selection system is well prepared or not. Also, next one is the maternity protection. So it is very important, especially labor law protect very strictly the females' protection, especially motherhood period, like giving birth or raising their children. So during those period, company can provide their requirement like maternity leave or child care leave or wage reduction during the child care period. So these are some requirement. Next one is rules of employment. This is company's regulation. Every company that hired 10 workers must prepare rules of employment. So there are through rules of employment, company can change working condition better or worse than how they change. So that is a legal requirement. So we'll check whether they follow company labor requirement or not. So next one is the severance pay, whether it is well prepared or well paid. There are some companies they violate this severance pay system, like they include the severance pay every yearly wages, so that's low. Also, some company introduce retirement retirement pension. So in that case, whether they follow the legal requirement or not. So next one is the workplace harassment. So nowadays a major issue we can see very often related some workplace harassment. Then there is the employee's duty to take care of those report from those victim workers. Then company should take care of them very based on legal requirement. Also minimum wage, I think minimum wage also, even though company pay more than minimum wage, but sometimes they neglect about minimum wage for probationary workers or some temporary workers. So even though they pay, but actually the promised pay is lower than minimum wage, then it can be some issue. Yeah. Next one is sexual harassment in workplace. So company is required to give at least 1 hour training each year. So we'll check whether company follow those requirement or not. Next one is gender equality. So I think this rule is becoming more and more important. Also, next one is the prohibition of discrimination against the non-regular workers. So when company hiring some non-regular workers, so their working condition, if they regular employee or non-regular work together in same workplace, so without justifiable reason, company cannot discriminate their working condition like wage. So we carefully review that. So last one is Labor Management Council. This one is very important. Every company that hired 30 workers or more must prepare the Labor Management Council. This is I think this Labor Management Council meeting should be held once each quarter. Also, they must follow requirement like company must reveal their the management information. Also, they have to negotiate, maybe consult with some employee representative, and also they make some conclusion, or they make the final decision together. Then those processes should be written in writing. Also, it should be well operated based on this purpose of this the Labor Management Council law. Yeah. So these 6 items we carefully review them. Yeah.
I see. It's a very long list of self-assessment checklists for labor inspection and to be qualified for the compliance management certification. So I hope that many companies can refer to this, not only the website but app, but I think it's more important to get the proper service from Gangnam Labor Law Firm. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.